So yeah, like I was saying, like up until this point, I was explaining to him, like up until this point, that we haven't really, me and his, you know, me and my wife, we haven't asked him to do much things up until this point, you know, much stuff like stuff around the house and that kind of stuff. So we've just explained to him as he gets older, it's important for him to do these things, so that when he does have his own place one day and he is fully independent, he knows how to cook, he knows how to clean, he knows how to look after himself. He understands that personal hygiene is important, that having a shower and brushing your teeth every day is important, and looking after yourself, grooming yourself, and etc. You know, just educating them about how to become the best version of themselves as they get older, so that so that you can instill these principles in hope that they will be successful in their own lives.
Another important thing is to teach your children manners.
Our manners, respect, politeness. Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
All these things will help them in the future.
Yeah.
Because it's important, really, when you go out. No matter who you speak to, you've got to speak to them in the right way.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And if you're not very good at speaking, you know, you're not going to go very far.
Yeah.
I don't think, you know.
You've
got to be polite. You've got to. I think you've got to have a great understanding, really, you know, sort of.
And also knowing how to communicate, if you see what I mean. And not only that, but learning how to adapt to their environment. Because there's a difference between how you're going to talk with your mates and laugh and joke and chat and talk and use certain slang words or certain whatever with your mates, than how you would talk in a professional setting, if you see what I mean. So it's also knowing and learning how to adapt to your scenario, and knowing how to act accordingly to your scenario, if you see what I mean. I think that's also a very important life skill. Understanding that certain things happen like they say, so there's a time to play and there's a time to work. I remember growing up hearing that a lot. One of the old, old sayings someone used to say to me when I was young. I can't remember who it was, but someone did. Time for all things. Time for, and that's very true. So yeah.
I mean, even at my age, at 57, I'm still learning.
Yeah.
I'm still learning, just like your son is in a kind of way, with my manners, with everything. I'm learning to become even wiser, basically.
Yeah.
I think we all are.
Yeah.
I think we're all striving to become knowledgeable and, the best person possible, basically.
Yeah.
And happy as well, which I think is very important. I want to look back on my life. If I die and I'm in heaven, and I think I had a good life.
Yeah.
That's what I want to say.
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't. I do appreciate life.
That's what I mean.
Which is very important.
You appreciated what you had, you enjoyed it, and you made the most of it.
Yeah.
That's so important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Life's not gone my way. Sometimes, I don't think it does for anyone, but, at least you try your best, and you don't give up, which is, I think, again, it's not, important not to give up,
Definitely.
So I think there's a number of things to learn in life, to make the future better for yourself.
Oh, yeah.
Like, as we've said before, like cooking, if you can cook, I think that's going to make your future a bit happier. If you can't cook, you're going to have what you're given.
Yeah.
In a kind of way.
Or you're going to be spending a lot of money on takeaway, or you're going to be eating like microwave meals and all this like preservative food, or this food that's just this food that you buy in the supermarket that's just full of shit. To be honest, So yeah, it's important to know how to look after yourself. How to learn how to eat. You've got to educate your kids about these things, about eating healthily. Making sure they're getting enough exercise, drinking enough water.
Keeping yourself clean.
That's it. Keeping clean, getting enough sunlight, getting outdoors. Making sure you get enough fresh air and getting out to it as well, into the sunlight. Also, and just all these different things. So that when they get to a certain age, they're already kind of on it, if you see what I mean. They already know what they need to do. Like if I can instill all the wisdom that I've got up into this point in my you know, at this point in my life, into my son now at his age, based on all the experiences and knowledge I've attained over my years since I've been alive. And so by the time he's 18, he'll already be, if you see what I mean, his head is already in the right direction. If you see what I mean, he already knows what's going on. If you get what I mean.
Yeah.
He knows what he needs to survive, what he has to do to survive, and maintain and navigate.
I mean, there is a certain point in your life as you're growing up that you want to become independent.
Yeah,
and,
of course.
And you want to leave the nest, you know, you're fed up with being told what to do, basically, you know.
I was kind of like that, to be honest.
Yeah, you know.
To a degree, not completely, but to a degree.
You want your own home, you know, and, you know, independence, basically, you know. So, as I say, like, when you do become independent, you can choose what you want to do in life in a kind of way, can't you? You know?
Yeah.
And kind of choose, you kind of sort of can sort of create a future in a kind of way, your own future, by just choosing carefully with your own choices, I think. Yeah. So in the future, I just want to be positive, do you know what I mean? And there are some, as you said, sort of, I think last week, there are some things in life that we don't like doing. You know, like for instance, maybe the washing up and things, you know, but these things have got to be done.
Got to be done, yeah.
You know?
No point, the more you think to yourself, I think sometimes we as human beings, we give ourselves too many options. If you get what I'm saying, you know? We give ourselves too many options. The more you think about stuff and the more you dwell it over with yourself, especially if you know it has to be done anyway, you're just procrastinating. And I know that, again, that sounds harsh, but that is just the reality. You know, sometimes you just have to be brutally honest with yourself. I'm not even talking to just other people, I'm just talking to yourself. And just being like, listen, I know I need to do this right now, so I'm just going to do it. Just get on with it. Stop worrying about, stop thinking, oh, I don't want to do this, you know, and be grumbling about it, and, you know, let it, you know, affect your mood or the way you're feeling or whatever. Just get on with it, and then get.
Well, the other thing is, we've got each human being, well, each animal as well, whatever. We've all got to exercise every day.
Yeah.
You know, and I look at housework or anything like that is like exercise.
Yeah, but that is exercise, mate.
You know.
Because you've got to keep the energy and the blood moving in your body.
Yeah.
You know.
So, like, I'm quite, you know, I don't like doing housework, but I kind of enjoy it because I put music on.
Yeah.
You know, I kind of like.
I'm the same.
Do two things at once, you know. I've got music on. I'm sort of like dancing a little bit to it, whatever, you know, and also doing the washing up at the same time.
Yeah.
So you can do two things at once.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same as well. Yeah.
So what's the point of sort of like doing the washing up and moaning about it, you know? Let's say put some music on and party about it, you know?
Exactly. Clean up your kitchen, you know, wash up, clean up your kitchen, empty your rubbish, you know, just wipe down everywhere, clean down everything, and then do the rest of your jobs.
But then once it's done, you put your feet up, and then you can sort of do some artwork, or
you can do something you want to do.
You know,
yeah,
and you know, or talk to someone, you know, that you know that you know you're chatting with online or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
There's another thing is that you know. I mean, me personally, I love doing, you know, like, you know, all the time I want to do something.
Yeah.
And if the washing up's there, you know, I do that, do you know what I mean? And then I do this and I do that, do you know what I mean? I like to get everything done, do you know what I mean? And then I like to sort of do a video, do you know what I mean? And then I do something else, you know, and then I think, oh, I'm tired now, I'll go to sleep. Then I wake up and think, all right, I'll go do
something else.
You know, I just like doing, you know?
Yeah.
And this is what I think people need to get an attitude to, right? Wake up and start doing. Start being alive, you know. I say there's two choices in life. You can either wake up and be alive, you know, get up and start being alive, or lay in bed and start dying.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that's the two choices, you know. And as I say, I've had a few devastations in my life, like losing my family and that, whatever, which I didn't want to happen. But I'm still here today, you know. And that's the end of the story, really. You know, it's sort of like, you know, even though I might have lost my wife, whatever, and it might have been devastating, at the end of the day, I've got 3 children here in this world, you know, and they've got a future, if you sort of mean, to think about, you know. So I think having children is something to have, be proud of, really, you know.
Most definitely.
You've given 3 lives, basically, to have a future and a life.
And a life,
you know, a whole future in front of them.
It's true.
But you can sort of like plan events, can you? Like, for instance, go on holiday.
Oh yeah.
You know, and you choose your destination maybe carefully.
Yes.
Before you go. And you can do that with the internet these days. You know, you can sort of really have a good look around at the place before you go there. And you can kind of like choose your future in a way, can't you? You know, you could either go to a cool place or a hot place, do you know what I mean? And you kind of like know that you're going there, you know. So, and then, once you've gone there, and then you come back, that becomes the past. And you've actually made that event happen, if you sort of mean, you know. So you do, I think you control the past a bit, you know, by controlling your future and thinking about it carefully, if you sort of mean.
Yeah. It's true. Anyway, mate, before we wrap it up
and
call it a night.
Is that it already? Is time gone that quickly already?
I believe so, mate. We're getting to that time of the night already.
Well, one day in the future, I'm not going to be here.
Yeah.
You know, that's the reality.
And likewise, you know, so, yeah.
But what were you going to say? Is there anything?
Yeah, I was going to say before we wrap it up and call it a night for this week's episode, is there any kind of final words or any closing statements or anything you kind of want to leave with the people in regards to the future?
Yeah.
You know, and what it beholds?
Yeah, there is. Yeah, just, that's what I just said it earlier, really. Just be positive, you know. I think that's...
Summarises it.
It's your own life, you know. It's not, it don't belong to anyone else. You know, the day belongs to you. Your imagination belongs to you. Your eyes belong to you. Your ears, everything belongs to you. Do you know what I mean? And the future belongs to you too. So, I think, you know, it's your choice whether you want to enjoy the future or not, I think, as well. I think you just got to be positive about it. We're lucky to have a future.
True.
Lucky to be born as well.
Lucky to be alive and to be kind of blessed, you know.
Yeah, that's right. You know, so I think I personally appreciate it. You see, I do appreciate the moment.
Yeah.
You know, I've had a bit of an awful past. I suppose I've spoken about enough, really. You know, and it's time to forget about the past, really. You know.
Yeah.
You know, I talk about it really only hoping that it might benefit people listening in a kind of way, you know, that I share, like, life's been pretty devastating for me sometimes, you know, but in a kind of way I'm pleased, in a funny way, because it's made me the man, you know, the person I am.
You are today.
Yeah, a bit stronger, do you know what I mean?
That's the same thing, that's what I always say to people too, I'm the same, I don't regret anything. Sometimes people say to me, do you have any regrets? And I said, no.
No, I don't have any regrets.
You know, like, everything that I did, you know, whether good or bad in my past, you know, I don't regret anything. It's all,
no,
it's either was a blessing or it was a lesson, you know?
That's right.
I don't see anything as like, you know,
you know, I kind of regret getting married, but then, you know, I don't, because I learned from it.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. You had that experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, you know, like I'm really looking forward to the future, you know. I think like a year's time to be even wiser than I am now, or, you know, maybe slightly more intelligent in certain ways, you know, so...
It's always a goal.
Well, I will be, because I know that, you know, well, as long as I don't die, touch with whatever, you know, as long as I, you know, if I wake up tomorrow, I'm going to carry on learning more. That's why I am, you know what I mean? I love learning, you know, I don't give up learning. I mean, Albert Einstein wrote a quote, yeah, if you give up learning, that's when you'll start dying. And I don't think you can ever stop learning either.
Never, no.
You know, I feel like I'm not a child anymore. You know, I'm a sort of old man, but I'm not a really old man yet. You know, and I think like in another 10 years' time, I should be a lot wiser than I am today. I think I should anyway.
Yeah.
I'm hoping to be anyway. You know.
Well.
Yeah, and I think like the wiser you get, the more you understand life, basically. Yeah, and if you understand life, the more happy you'll feel.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, it's true.
Like you know, sometimes in the past, I've not always understood life, but I kind of understand it a lot more than I did today.
And I think definitely once you get to that point, it definitely, like you said, once you get a greater and deeper understanding of what life is about and how how life works, and you know, etc. Then, like you said, it gives you a deeper appreciation of life, if you see what I mean.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, and a better future.
Yeah.
Which is important, you know.
Yeah.
So the past is gone.
That's it.
And we've got the future to look forward to.
Ahead of us, you know.
And that's all we got really.
And everyone's hoping for a good future, you know. Everyone hopes to have a long, happy, healthy, wonderful life, you know. Prosperous life, you know. But we all have a different deck of cards. That's how I kind of look at it. You know, we've all got a different deck of cards. We all got a different hand. And we've all got to play the hand that we've been dealt.
I feel like I have really bad hands, but.
And then when that game of poker comes to an end, it's it's time to move on. You know, energy does not die. It can be merely transformed. It cannot be destroyed. It can merely transform. So once you transform and you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I think all I want to say and leave with the people really is make the most of life. Try to plan as best as possible for your future. That's very important. But also live in the moment. Make sure you try to appreciate the moment and enjoy the moment of every day of your life, and cherish the things that are truly important, like your family and your loved ones, and what really really makes you happy in life and drives you. And yeah, just try to live life as best as possible. Like they say, in order to get the best results in life, it's better to do the right thing. We all know what we need to do in life. Like I've said before, we all know what we need to do in life to get to where we want to go or where we need to be. But not everyone is always willing to do what they have to do. So yeah, it's just about it depends on how much you're driven to achieve what you want for your future. Some people have got more drive than others. But like I was saying, we all know what we have to do in order to get to where we need, to where we want to be. And if you're not willing to do that, then fine, but yeah.
We'll better watch this show one time in the future.
For sure.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to watching it again.
We made this in the future.
Yeah.
As we were talking about earlier, maybe sat down and started recording, and now the show's about to come to an end.
That's right.
It's, the future tense is now the past tense.
And we didn't know what the show,
So,
in a way we don't know what we're talking about in the show.
No.
We kind of sort of like just flow and kind of like go where it goes in a kind of way,
That's it.
That's what I like about it.
Spontaneous.
So
Yeah.
You never know what's going to happen in the future.
That's it.
Basically.
That's it.
It's surprise. It's full of surprises, basically, isn't it? The future.
Definitely. Anyway, guys, thank you for tuning in to a brand new episode. As you already know, if you've watched up until this point, that this week's episode has been all about
the future.
The future.
The scary future.
And we hope you guys have enjoyed this week's episode, of course. We'll be back again next week with a brand new episode, so please stay tuned for that. Please like, comment and subscribe if you haven't already, of course. And yeah, stay safe, plan for your future.
And be wise.
Be wise. Try to make the best decisions that you can in life to benefit your life in a positive way and not in a negative way, you know. Learn to have critical and logical thinking. Learn to have emotional intelligence. And learn just, you know, that in order to have a better future and a brighter future, you have to put in the work now. If you get what I'm trying to say. If you want to see results, results come from something. It's like a plant. You get a seed, you bury it under the earth, eventually you water it, eventually the seedling starts to, it bursts, seedling sprouts up, starts to grow, and before you know it, you've got a plant. But it starts from the seed, if you get what I'm trying to say. I'm just using that as an analogy, if you see what I mean, like, you know. But yeah, you want to see results, you want to have a better future and a brighter future and a good life.
Got to plant the seeds. You
have to plant the seeds now. You've got to, like they say, you reap from what you sow. So if you start sowing today, and if you want to see the results in the future, start applying yourself today. You know, like I said earlier, be strategic with your thinking and your planning and your movements. Know how much money you need to have.
Try to spiral in life.
Exactly. Know how much money you need to have in order to sort out whatever business or whatever thing you want to pursue in life, whatever you choose to pursue in life or you want to do. Know how much money and how much investment you're going to need in order to make that shit happen. And just have a plan. And, you know. Anyway, guys, that's it from us.
Look forward to the future.
That's it. Good night. God bless. And we'll be back again next week. Good night.